I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, forgive me the spirit, to do this lesson. Now in this lesson I'm going into, there was a boy in the story of Yahushai when he multiplied the fish and the bread. Okay, there was a boy in the mix of this story. And I can only imagine being there and seeing that play out. Okay, when I meditated upon this story. All right, now you're going to see that in a different account. And in Luke chapter 6, it goes into the boy that's in that story. Okay, but I'm going to start in Mark chapter 6, and you don't hear about the boy in this account. Okay, so I'm going to read this first and go to that account. All right, let's start at Mark chapter 6, verse 30. Now, before this, the apostles, they were healing the sick and different things like that, but you can read it yourself. So I'm getting to the point. Verse 30, it says, and the apostles gathered themselves together unto Yahushai and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. Right. So like I said, before that, they healed the sick. So they're telling Yahushai, basically excited about the faith they had, okay, of healing the sick. Okay, because they learned that from Yahushai. All right, and we're going to learn it as well. Verse 31, he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. Right. Okay, because the people were applying the pressure because of all the miracles, man. You had a lot of sick people that heard about Yahushua who believed that he was here, hearing stories of other people, other Jakes getting healed, so they wanted to be healed. Okay, so the pressure coming from the people was very thick and heavy. Okay, that's why they had no leisure, no free time to even sit down to eat. Okay, so just to give you the gravity of the situation. Verse 32, and they departed into a desert place by ship privately. And the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all the cities, and outwent them, and came together unto him. Okay, so that was rushing, man. And Yahushua, when he came out, saw much people, and was moved with compassion toward them. So think about it. They're trying to hide, okay, because the disciples, the apostles, are already telling Yahushua what they did about all these people they healed, okay? So more people are coming to get healed because those people told other people. All right, so you talk about a lot of Jakes like rushing the disciples, the apostles, and Yahushua, rushing them, man. That's why they hid, man, but they couldn't hide, really. They hid for a little bit, but like it says here, back at verse 34, and Yahushua, when he came out, saw much people and was moved with compassion toward them. So he felt sorry. And it says, because they were as sheep, not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, this is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away, that they may go into the country round about, and into the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. He answered and said unto them, give you them to eat. And they said unto him, shall we go and buy 200 pennies worth of bread, and give them to eat? He said unto them, how many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say 5 and 2 fishes. Now let me stop here. Okay, so they were commanded to go see if there was some food, right? Because why? Yahushua knew he was going to double, quadruple, okay, the fish and the bread. He knew that already. Okay, but let's go to John chapter 6. Let's start at verse 4. It says, in the Passover, a feast of the Jews was nigh. So that's another point. So you don't read that in the other account I was reading. Okay, that's why it's here a little, there a little. Okay, but it connects. All right, so the Passover was nigh. Verse 5, when Yahushua then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, we know that happened whenever he came from the ship, right? They hid in the ship, and he came out and saw those people, okay? And he said unto Philip, whence shall we buy bread that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennies worth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. Verse 8, One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, saith unto him, there is a lad here. Okay, so that's the boy that I was referring to earlier. There is a lad here, so a young boy, which have 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes, but what are they among so many? Okay, now let's go back to Mark chapter 6. Okay, so you see that when I go back to Mark chapter 6, let's go back to verse 36. I'll start there. Send them away that they may go into the country round about and into the villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. Verse 37. He answered and said unto them, give you them to eat. And they say unto him, shall we go and buy 200 pennies worth of bread and give them to eat? He said unto them, how many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say 5 and 2 fishes. Right. And that was from the boy, the little lad. Okay. So that boy, he believed to give them the fish because he could have ate the fish and the bread himself. Think about it. You got all these people, man, 5,000 people. Okay. So the little boy, he had faith and he believed in Yahushua. That's why he gave up the fish and the bread. Okay. Think about it, man. All right. Out of all those people, there were only 2 fishes, small fishes, and 5 loaves of bread. Think about that. Verse 39. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. And they sat down in the ranks by hundreds and fifties. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, okay, from the boy, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves and gave them to his disciples to set before them. Okay. Think about that, man. I mean, see, Yahushua, man, see, the spirit of the Father was very heavy in Yahushua, man. Like, they're one, man. Very heavy, okay? And this is a learning process when we read this to really think what's possible, man. Okay? Dealing with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You're supposed to be meditating upon that, man, because we're going to need miracles to get out of this situation that we're in. That is a fact, okay? Back to verse 41. It says, and blessed and brake the loaves and gave them to his disciples to set before them. And the 2 fishes divided he among them all. And they did all eat and were filled. And they took up 12 baskets full of fragments and of the fishes. And they did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men. Think about that. 5,000 men sat down. They all sat down. Imagine that. All these people, and they sat down and you distributing food from 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread that you use spiritual power to double and triple. Come on, man, that's heavy. Verse 45. And straightway he constrained his disciples to get into the ship and to go to the other side before unto Bethsaida while he sent away the people. Right. Okay. I'll read this last verse. And when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray. Okay, so you get the point. There was a boy involved in this story, man, that had the bread and the fish, man. A very, very small amount. Okay, but that little boy, that little lad, had faith to give it up. You see, you can't miss that detail of the story. You know, when you're spiritual, you want to get all the meat off the bone. That's a big part of the meat right there in that story, if you think about it. Okay, so, hey, man, miracles are coming. Big time. More miracles are coming. I'm telling you. Big miracles, man. Really, really big miracles are coming. The people are going to be shocked. Okay, so with that, I hope you're edified. I want to give all praises, honor to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakah Kodash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to your Akhmat that is doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.